Pat. I'm so excited to have you join me on the My WHIM Life Show. I have known you through networking channels and different women's groups that we've both been a part of over the last several years. But tell all of our viewers and listeners a little bit about who Pat is.
Well, that takes me back a few years. But no, I always feel like I've been a teacher all throughout my years. I graduated college with a bachelor's degree in early childhood development. My whole goal at that time was to go on and have my own nursery school set up and teach the little ones. I always played house when I was growing up, so having my own little ones to teach and to work with and to teach was just one of my goals, and that went for a little while. Thoroughly enjoyed it. Ended up having to work for someone else that wasn't the best situation, so I moved on from that area of my teaching and got into some elementary school teaching. Did that for quite a little while. I enjoyed that. And then I left teaching and left the school situation and taught retirees how to retire with Simplot Company for about 10 years. So enjoyed that, and then life just took another turn soon after that 10-year time was up too. So got into the career that I'm in now, and never ever thought that I would be focused so much on the health of with people and teaching them the different options that are out there to take a look at. So that's kind of how I got started with this company, Vollara, that I've been a part of for almost 20 years. I'm thinking, holy moly.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. It's so funny to look back on some of that stuff and be like, I've been doing what for how long?
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
So I know that you've got other family. Do you want to tell us a little bit about your family?
Well, I have an older son in California, and he's been my rock through the time that I lost my youngest son just a little over a year ago. He had lived here, and raised us with 4 girls, ended up with my 2 boys, and I thought, what the heck am I going to do here? And so, my dad was a big role model for the boys for a number of years, and so that was a blessing. I always grew up as part of a very, very close family, and that was something that I was able to allow my boys allowed me to work with him and be that way too. So we've always had a really close family. Even my growing up years, I remember my grandfather, grandmother, and the cousins' time that we spent together was so priceless. And so being able to have my boys experience that kind was a blessing too. So yeah, and then I have 3 sisters. One sister is here in Boise. She's my best friend. The other 2 were in California, and there's some days we think that's okay that they're there. So we're not quite as close as the one that is here. So, and then just some good friends. So yeah.
Fantastic. You mentioned Vollara, the company that you've been working for almost 20 years. Yeah. Tell us a little bit about them.
Well, they are a healthy technology company. We work with green technologies. Actually, my late husband found this. We were living in Eastern Idaho for a while, and I had I'd left the corporate world when I was working for Simplot, went to doing candle parties with women in the evenings, and I had a ball. I did that for a little over 5 years. And he had retired early from the railroad. So he was looking for something. He said, got to keep myself off the bars and off the streets. So he actually found this technology being demonstrated at a local fair over in Eastern Idaho, got really, really intrigued with it. So he pursued that, and I watched him learn a little bit more about this company. He shot up to the top with a great team of people helping him along the way. We earned a trip back to the company headquarters, and I went with him to meet the owners and actually stood toe-to-toe with the gentleman who invented this technology, and just learned how approachable all that leadership was. And so that really gave me a turnaround in my thinking, because the counterparties that I was doing was fun, but it wasn't nearly a way to make a difference in people's lives. Sure. As we were seeing with the air purification systems. And so we had married late in life, and we thought, can and we worked together as two very strong individuals, and we ended up being able to do that. And we had a great career with the company, earned some trips, earned a bonus car, had a great team that we were working with. And then he passed away about 12 years ago. And from Eastern Idaho, I moved back here to the Boise area with family. And I kind of put things on the back burner for a while, but I never could really let go of things. And I always had amazing, strong support from the people that I'd known in Vollara. I made a lot of good friends along the way. So I got back in touch with what was going on, and I thought, I've got to get back involved with this. And so I did. And just, it's been ups and downs, but all along the way, it's just something, like I said, I just can't let go of. And so I've just stayed the course. And like I said, I've got some amazing mentors. I love what they're doing now with the way the company is run. So I'm feeling really, really good, and just continue to feel good about what I'm able to do to help teach people back to that teaching role. I'm not a real salesperson as much as just a teacher and educator, because what we have, a lot of people don't even know it's an option to consider. So that's kind of where I'm going with this company, and we'll continue to be down that road too. So yeah.
Yeah, it's funny. I was just listening earlier this morning. I was listening to an interview with Jay Shetty, and he was talking about how, some people really kind of hunt and peck and dig and really work into their curiosity and what interests them in order to find their passion. And he says, and others just accidentally stumble upon it. And that definitely sounds like something you've done.
Yes. Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Our air purification is probably the main focus right now, but we do have hydrogen-rich water systems. We have a laundry pure product that allows you to do laundry with just purified cold water. And we have an amazing line of nutritional supplements as well. So we're kind of that rounded place to be with the different healthy options that we are offering to people too. So
Right. And I have definitely, been close to you in person and know very well that you are the epitome of health and doing all the things that you want to be able to do as far into life as you will possibly go. Yep.
My goal is to be 100. I'm 77. I'm thinking, I don't know where that came from, but
right. But I want to get there.
Yeah. As long as I'm healthy, I want to get to at least that 100 mark. So yeah.
That's awesome. So tell me a little bit about, obviously, entrepreneurship isn't for everyone, but it's something that you have definitely fallen in love with. So tell me, what are some of the habits that you have put into place that really keep that momentum going for you on a day-to-day basis?
Just really always reach out to new people. And I'm so sold on what I'm representing with my company. And so basically it's just, I can't help myself from talking about the healthy benefits of what we have. And it's amazing how in just a conversation, it'll kind of come up, and I thought, I can't not say something. It's kind of like, who do you not like well enough to not tell them about what we have?
Yeah.
So basically I've connected with a lot of people over Facebook, through Facebook messaging then to get a little bit more private conversation going. I still am doing a fair amount of networking and just always reaching out to people who know people and asking for the referrals. And we know referral business is probably one of the best ways to open some more doors with people as well. So always trying to put myself out there at some level to be able to reach out and to be able to meet up and talk with new people too. So
yeah. I love that. Everybody always has some set things in their life, whether that be personal things or business things that are absolutely non-negotiable for them. What are those things for you?
Oh, golly. Good question. Again, not holding back from what I truly believe in, and sharing that whenever the opportunity arises, that it's comfortable to do that with people too. Always being out there, telling the truth about what I know. If I don't know something, I'll tell people that. I'll own up to it and say, I don't know about that, but I'll let you know when I find out, and I get back to people too. But just helping other people that's what gives me the joys. And when I know that what I've been able to share with people is going to make a change, or a change for the good in their lives. And I see that, and I hear their stories after they've been using some of our technologies, and all, and that's what warms my heart. And I will always continue to be doing that. So
Yeah.
I need
So
that.
are those people and those stories, are those kind of really your driving force, your motivation on a day-to-day basis so that you can help as many people as you can?
I need to have that purpose in my life to keep myself going and not fall into this other sad part of my life that's kind of crept into my life from time to time here lately. So I need that purpose to keep myself going, and just knowing that I can make a difference in somebody's life just by the introduction of what we have. So yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I definitely get exactly what you mean. It's really easy to get caught up in what you're going through personally. And there's definitely time for that. There's an appropriate time for loss and for grieving and for enjoyment and celebration, on both sides. So it's not like that's not a part of our everyday life, but the drive that we have as entrepreneurs is always an undercurrent that's kind of there ready to explode at any moment.
Exactly. I agree with you there. Absolutely. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. If you had one piece of advice that you were going to give to an entrepreneur, what would that be?
Find your passion. Find something that you can really believe in, and something that you experience yourself. I think the stories that we share with people about our own personal experiences, that goes far further in helping people understand why we're doing what we're doing. Our personal stories are the golden key, I think, to helping people understand. That's what life is all about. If you're doing something that you don't love doing, you're not going to be there very long.
Right.
You can't give it the quality of your giving that you really are wanting to do. So love what you do. And when you look at something, I always suggest get in and do some research too, and figure out, is this something I really want to be a part of? And when people ask me questions about some of the technologies that I share, I said, I'm not asking you to make a decision, but you dig in and do your own research, and then you come back, ask me the questions. And if you don't ask questions, I'm more upset. I want you to feel good about what decisions you're making too. So yeah.
Yeah, I think it's very interesting. People, I'm a very, very curious person, so I'm always asking a lot of questions, not just of other people or a product or whatever. I'm asking a lot of questions of myself. Every time I have an interesting, thought or think of another direction that I might want to go, I'm like, but why does that, spark interest? Like what's the core of that? So I love that you enjoy the questions, because I think that is key to enjoying the journey.
Oh yes. Yeah, I'm learning from people all the time. I have a new team member. Her husband is a retired Boeing engineer. And when I was sharing the air purifier with him, he started taking it all apart. He starts telling me why this is part of it and why this is part of it. He actually worked with NASA. And so he's sharing some of his engineering knowledge. I said, I'm going to learn from you, because I thought I knew pretty well why things were there, but now you explain them a little bit deeper. I mean, he worked with NASA. He was even on a spaceship at one time, just there because he worked closely with them. I thought, wow. So those kinds of people come into my life, and I'm thinking, I'm always learning something from somebody.
Yeah, so, absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. So what is the best way for people to reach you to find out more about Vollara and everything that you do?
Actually, I really like the venue of the Facebook Messenger. I think we can get a little personal in that venue, and then pursue things with a phone call or whatever. I've got a great short presentation through Zoom that has been very well received. It just really helps explain our technologies. And again, it's an easy venue to be part of, where we can chat. I can share some more stories. You can ask your questions and that kind of thing too. So probably starting with the Facebook Messenger, and then taking the next steps if the interest is there to continue on a conversation.
Yeah, yeah. And we'll definitely share with everyone that is watching or listening what the link is to get access to you so they can quickly send you a message.
Sure, that's awesome. That's awesome.
Awesome. My last question is, how do you give back?
How do I give back? I think being open to listening to people, it's all about building relationships. And I think when people know that you're tuned in to their stories, their needs, their wants, maybe what they're searching for, or just simply listening. About 2.5, 3 years ago, I got involved with this Unstoppable Influence group with this Natasha Hazlitt. And there is a small group of us here in the Boise area that we get together every Tuesday afternoon. And being there for each other and sharing our lives, holding each other accountable, being supportive of one another, that whole thing is just, it's so meaningful to me, and I hate having to miss a time to get together with these ladies for 2 hours. So I think just knowing that there's somebody that cares and that I'm a listener, and I would be more than happy to just sit and let you talk
Yeah.
and open up, and then we can, go the next step if you wanting more help. But I think just the friendship and the relationships is basically my forte at this time too. I love being able to be in that role too. So
yeah, and I really, really, really enjoy those types of bonds that you create with people, regardless of how you came together. There's just some groups of people that you mesh so tightly with, and you're like, oh, I love this. I just love this.
I never would have met these people in any other way, but coming together with this same goal of being those unstoppable influence people, and just knowing that we're strong women and we can go out and do whatever we feel called to do because we've got the support to do that. So yeah,
I love it. I love it. Love it. I have enjoyed our time chatting so much. Thank you for taking a few minutes with me.
Thank you for inviting me to do so. It's been great. So great to connect with you again too.
You too. You too. I feel like we, through all this COVID stuff, we haven't seen many people in person in so long.
Yeah, feels great to be able to do it this way. So
Absolutely. Absolutely. I enjoy your company so much, and I'm sure I will see you in person soon.
Hopefully. Thanks, Wendy. Okay.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you so much for tuning in to the My WHIM Life Show today. If you haven't already, be sure to subscribe so you don't miss a moment of the goodness.